Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm going to talk to you about the afflictions of the mind. I always in my videos mention that when the moon is in not a good position, that it afflicts or it sort of distorts the cognitive process of the mind. So what exactly it is? Now in Hindu scriptures, there is a there is a very specific topic called the Shatripu. Shat means six. Ripu is the deceitful, the cheat, the poison, the enemy. Okay, you get the idea, right? So there are six deceitful components which we need to be aware and to stay away from it. Okay, these are the things that corrupts or rather distorts the cognitive process of the mind, right? So what are the things that you need to be aware? What are the six components? Number one is karma. Karma is not part of the tenets of the Hinduism, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That's not the one. This is different. This one is a personal desire but at the expense of another person, of others, right? So if I want something, it should be based on my, if I'm desirous of something, it should be based on my effort, and my my good and bad, whatever that comes with it. It should not be at the expense of another guy or another person. So karma is exactly that. That's what it means. It means that I want something, but there will be repercussions, there will be consequence. I mean, a bad consequence for someone else, not me, right? So, say if I'm looking for that raise or promotion in the job, but I try to use office politics and bring down the other guy so that I can go up. So that is karma. Okay, that's the first thing. Now I'll tell you at the end what would it do to a person if you constantly do all this. Now, one thing to remember, ladies and gentlemen, is that these six components or the deceitful components, most of the time it is something that we are oblivious. We will just do it. We'll just say it. We won't actually realize. So this inadvertent action may be seen as something normal. Okay, being like in this case, the first one is karma. I like something, but it's okay to cheat a little bit. It's okay to do some office politics. It's okay to be a little bit devious and all that. But actually, it's not, because it's damaging. It is what we call as insidious, right? It's small, but eventually it grows into a proportion where you can't have control anymore already. So first thing is karma. Second thing is Crowther. Crowther is anger, rage, frustration. You can't get something. When you can't get something, you tend to have an emotional response. Normally, it's anger, frustration, hatred, rage, violence, and all that. That's what Crowther is. Um, Third would be Moha. Moha means conditional identity. Okay, you create certain identity for yourself. Like, okay, I am Prakash. I am from this kind of race. I'm this religion. My economic status. My academic qualifications, social status. Things could go on. You create an identity for yourself, and this identity brings a lot. I mean, this is the basis, the very essence of the of almost all the problems in this world, because you tend to be very exclusive about things. Okay, so remember, moha means these words will be in the description section, by the way. So moha means a self-identity, or creating or building a self-identity, conditioning oneself, right? Next will be mada. Mada means arrogance. I know, it's all about me. I don't think you know as much as I do. I think that person is wrong. It's a very self-explanatory. It's arrogance that it's always better than the other person. Now the bad thing about arrogance is, and I know everybody would agree with me, is that you are curbing yourself. You're limiting yourself to knowledge, because when you think that you know everything, right? And then you are putting yourself in a situation that I don't have to know, okay, because I already know everything. And what happens is knowledge is limited, and when a person loses knowledge, that person can be eventually stupid, right? Now, even in Tamil, madayan means the fool or the stupid, right? So anyway, mada means arrogance. Out of arrogance, we lose our knowledge to gain knowledge, to learn new things and all that. What else? So kama, krodha, moha, mada, and loba. Loba means greed. COVID-19 pandemic situation is classic example. Somebody have a stock full of items in their house, surplus amount of food and rice and whatnot, medical supplies, sanitary stuffs. This is just filled, and they're just hoarding more and more and more because they're insecure, right? They're insecure, they're scared, which is why they become greedy, right? I have 2 cars, I need one more, right? I've got this plot of land, now I need to get another one. That guy has this guy has that, so I need to consume more and more and more and more. So what happens if you consume more? Eventually it's going to be, again, all of these components is going to be insidious, meaning it's going to grow into a proportion where you cannot handle anymore, right? The last, and certainly not the least, is matsariam. Matsarya or matsariam means envy, a malicious envy, which means you can start in very small, in a very tender age. Like you go to school and the kid has an extra eraser or a fancy looking pencil. I want that, okay? But then there isn't any malicious appendage to that, right? It's like, I want it, that's it. But that's how it starts, right? But as you grow older, and then you say, all right, okay, I seem to like that guy, he's married, so I'm going to do something to the wife. And we hear this in newspapers, in insurance companies and all that. These things are pretty common nowadays. I like that, I really want that stuff, but I can't do it. Let's do something about it. A malicious action, which is born through envy, right? Jealousy, and so on. So these are the 6 components which will ruin our mind. And eventually, if the mind is distorted, as I mentioned earlier, then everything else will just be out of place, and ultimately you will find unhappiness. Okay, if one can be vigilant and mindful, and also what do you call it, you acknowledge, right? You acknowledge, okay, this is the time I think this particular poison is being influenced, right? So what I do is I need to back out or back off totally from it. So that's something that we need to be conscious about, right? Are we actually allowing these deceitful components to control us, essentially, all right? And if you go, if you continue reading all this, it's all there in the internet. You can do a search for Sadripu, okay? These components are sort of, they come in sort of a, they are intertwined, they're linked. Like the first 2, for example, karma means you want something, right? A personal desire at the expense of another, or at the expense of others. Comes after that is Crowther, is rage, anger. So if you don't get what you want, then anger comes in, right? If you look at the next 2 as well, if you what was it again? Karma, Crowther, and moha. Moha means conditional, right? You want to have a self-identity. And if you look at the next one is mada. When you have an identity, when you're exclusive, then you become arrogant, right? So these components are intertwined, interlinked, and it goes really deep. But I just wanted you to know that next time when I, in my videos, if I mention about the affliction of the mind, this is what exactly that I'm talking about, okay? So thanks for watching, and if you have anything you want to ask, any questions, put it in the comment sections. Do subscribe if you're new. Do share these videos if you think that it's worth to share. Thanks guys, take care, be safe, namaste.